the bits that I've done off camera are I've taken these and cut them into bits like that. Right. Let's try all that again. The bits that I've done off camera is I took these bits, the D-loop anchors, and cut them into this, marked out a 3mm wide seam with where I want the stitches to go up to, and also skived the middle bits so that I can get them buffed up beforehand to them. I've also taken the bit that was the old newspaper and made a bit like this. I was going to use dense foam padding, but then I realised that when you're carrying the case, this goes on the top, so it's basically just there to form a hand support. So I took some out, made a little bit out of some pine, sanded it down, sanded it to shape, rounded the edges off, and I'm going to be able to use that for my mould. For the top piece. I've also cut out the bottom piece and beveled these edges ready for burnishing as well. And I'm just in the middle of cutting out the top piece, which, as you can see, is a fair bit wider, but that's because it has to mould down the side of this. So I'll get on with that. Right, while I've got the piece of leather soaking in water, or shall I say, I've got the piece of leather soaking in water, and while that was soaking there, like that, I've got a piece of wood and turned it into a block so that could be nicely easily formed on it without breaking the tips off, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to use that and form it and mould it. So here goes. Right, I figured out how it goes back together now. I've got all the pieces that are whole. You've got the upper outer part of your handle, which I need to sort out and dye. That bit goes in there like that. And then you've got the inner part of your handle, which is this bit. This is the padding from the actual original handle. That goes in like that. And then that rolls around there like this and forms a tiny little package. These ends are trimmed properly, they're not going to be like that, they should just meet like this nicely, and skived down to next to nothing as well from about here. So they're sort of done like that. So you have that, then you get this, have your little inner package, and that goes in there like that, and then these ends pull over also skived down to next to nothing. So this bit, although it's looking at like 6mm thick at the moment, it won't be. It'll be less than 2, hopefully a lot less than 2. And then yeah, with your D-rings here, and that is pretty much where your handle goes. Might have to sand the edges of these down a little bit just to get an extra bit of curve, but yeah, there you go. That's the basics of your handle. I've kind of got a bit of an apology to make actually. I got a little bit carried away and kind of made the handle already. It was the way that I said it before, you just sort of make a small capsule with these in the middle of it and then put that round it and do the other bit. Don't know if this is going to show up very well, but I skived down the ends so they were almost just beyond paper thin to try and meet up with no join, or as little join as possible. Burnish the ends, burnish the sides. The burnishing is actually taken on a nice dark look, which is kind of groovy for making it look older. Blended these and made them fit with the hat box, and burnished these edges. I am really proud of these edges, looking beautiful. And it's one of the best stitching jobs I've done so far. Yeah, that is basically one piece of leather as far as it goes. So I'm just doing the final stitching across here, and then that'll be the handle done. Right, so there we go. All stitched and casted off. Hopefully that will last for another 80 odd years. The underneath isn't my finest work, but top's come out quite straight and nice, and all the sides done. I'll try and show you a bit more of the process that I've been going through and what I've done so far. But again, it depends if I just want to sort of get my head down and get on with it and completely forget to make a video. But just by way of comparison, there's the this is the original handle as it was. And the original one there. Original with this. I know the handle looks much darker and a slightly different brown than these ones, but that's because I'm trying to, I don't want it to look brand new, I want it to look weathered and aged a bit. And as these didn't usually get much wear on them, that really would, so tried to make that a bit more darker where the skin oils and everything had been touching it and worn it away a bit and all that kind of thing. Yeah, there's the finished thing. Okay, thank you. Hopefully there'll be another part to the video. I'll try to do that, but this is at the very least, hopefully, if a little bit abridged, how I've made a handle for an old suitcase or hat box, that kind of thing, in a vintage restoration. Okay, hope you've enjoyed, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.